And do go back and watch the show. There was a guy in the front lines, right up in the cops' faces, just telling them off the whole time. Fucking love that dude. He's my hero. But now this is the line I think this is about where we were watching last night. Like, we were watching a camera that was over here. These are some cars that were going down the street. They see the cops and they turn around. Watch what the cops do to this one up here. This is the cops. Remember, all those right-wing messages about rioters and Antifa and BLM burning down cities. This is the cops.
Ow. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, shit. Damn. They bust up all the windows in that joint. Was there kids in there?
There were kids in there.
Somebody just hopped out with a baby. Come on.
Watch that again. Remember when you hear about rioters, looters.
Wow. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, shit.
The guy who has spent more time watching my streams than anybody just said it was boring. So, the grand jurors of the Breonna Taylor case gave an interview. I believe they were on CBS this morning.
iPhone 12 and iPhone 12 Pro are here.
You shut the fuck up.
This new iPhone.
Now, Breonna Taylor's mom has asked that the state appoint a new special prosecutor. The Attorney General, Daniel Cameron, was already a special prosecutor in the case.
CBS this morning, we begin this half hour with our exclusive interview with
Her mom has asked that they appoint a new special prosecutor.
Kevin Glogauer. Taylor was shot and killed in her home during a police raid back in March. One of the officers at the scene, Brett Hankinson, was fired and charged with wanton endangerment for shooting at the apartment next door. No one was.
Breed Creed is fucking with you.
No officers have been charged for Taylor's death, and at least one of the officers involved has defended their actions. The jurors told us authorities never presented them with the option to consider indicting officers on more serious charges for Taylor's
Daniel
death.
Cameron has been trying to cover this up the whole time.
Disgusted and even betrayed.
They had to go through a court order in order to be able to give this interview to tell you that there is a cover-up going on.
Up front, when they gave us all of that testimony over 20-something hours, and then to say that these are the only charges that they're coming up with, it's like, what did we just sit through? And then to be told that we're not charging them with anything else, to me, it was a betrayal.
So when you all look, Juror 1 and 2, and you're told that the only thing you need to consider right now is wanton endangerment, did anyone say, hey, are there any other options here? Did either of you say that?
Almost the entire room.
What was the answer that you were given?
Basically, in a nutshell, they said there were other possible charges that we considered, but nothing that we could make stick.
They never gave us the opportunity to deliberate on anything but the charges for Hinkelson. That was it. As a matter of fact, when they announced that those were the
It's clear Hankinson was their throw under the bus guy.
More charges that could have gone forward on all of those officers were at least the 3 shooters.
Why is this so extraordinary, Kevin?
Normally, the grand jurors are presented with the law and the charges so that they can listen to the facts with an open mind and apply those facts to the law.
Now remember, that is what Daniel Cameron said in the press conference. We presented the grand jury with all the facts, and this was their conclusion. That's what he has been hiding behind.
This is a roadmap.
What happened here?
What happened here was it was done in the complete reverse.
What stands out to you the most?
From a legal perspective, it looked like they weren't following the grand jurors, and they only wanted the grand jurors to follow them, which is contrary to the actual rule.
Grand juror number 1 and number 2 say what prompted them to ultimately speak.
You better watch out, Poop
was that
Boy.
press
You'll get put in
conference held by
Echoplex's
Kentucky Attorney
magazine.
General Daniel Cameron, which they insist falsely represented their position on potential indictments for the officers involved in Breonna Taylor's death.
While there are 6 possible homicide charges under Kentucky law, these charges
Didn't present
are not
any of them.
to the facts before us because our investigation showed and the grand jury agreed that Mattingly and Cosgrove were justified in the return of deadly
The grand jury agreed, this lying son of a bitch.
And that the grand jury had agreed that those didn't apply. The first time I heard the word 6 possible murder charges was in that news conference.
It wasn't presented to you
It
in
was
the
not
grand
presented
jury
to us.
deliberations?
No. And personally, when I do something, I take responsibility for it. We had not done that.
I really felt that. This was all Cameron. This was up to him. We didn't get a choice in that at all.
Daniel Cameron is married to Mitch McConnell's niece, by the way, and is a rising star in the Republican Party.
We didn't agree to anything. We never met Cameron.
You've never met Attorney General Cameron?
No, we never met him. He never discussed anything with us.
I think many people will be very surprised to hear that they had no contact with Attorney General Cameron whatsoever.
I agree. If you watch the press conference, it seemed clear from the wording that Mr. Cameron was implying that he played a larger role in the actual presentation.
Absolutely.
Is that normally how it works?
Well, the Attorney General in Kentucky doesn't normally present cases to the grand jury. But I think to answer your question, Gail, generally the highest person in the office would at least come introduce themselves to the grand jurors.
Do either of you think there was enough evidence to present charges of murder, attempted murder?
At least manslaughter.
Yes, I think there was. Yeah, I mean, just all of the evidence there. As we were listening to it, we were sure this was leading up to something like that.
Among the evidence the grand jury heard from the night of the raid was a 911 call from Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker. He says he fired a warning shot.
Clearly showing he had no clue who was at his door.
Officers returned fire with 32 bullets.
911, Operator Harris, where's your emergency?
I don't know what's happening. Somebody kicked in the door and shot my girlfriend.
The thing that stood out to me when I was talking to him, he said, why would I call 911 if I thought it was the police?
That resonated with me because he didn't know who it was that was coming in. You know, he had no idea. You could hear the distress. Everything about what he said was believable. It made sense all the way through.
You found him credible?
Yes.
Totally believable.
Did you find the police credible?
No.
No.
There are too many inconsistencies in their story. Now I understand that, you know, in a situation like that, you may not remember.
And the cops said the cops said they had like 10, 15 rounds shot at them. They even claimed that somebody had a rifle, an AR-15. One shot was fired because the door flew off the fucking hinges. Now, in this case, the city of Louisville paid out $30 million, I believe it was. I want to know when taxpayers are going to finally say enough is enough, not just over the loss of life by these crooked-ass cops, but the amount of money municipalities have to pay out for crooked cops. Over $2 billion. And this is just from it was just from the 5 largest. I don't have. I was reading the article earlier. I'm on a guest right now. I can't see the rest of it, but I believe it was 5. The 5 largest police departments, or maybe it's the 25 largest. Over $2 billion. And that wasn't even all the police departments. We have thousands. It is amazing to me. Hell, if the loss of life doesn't bother you, at least you fiscally responsible conservatives can get on board with this. It's costing you a shit ton of money to have crooked cops. Thin blue line, my ass.